Hi everybody, this is Michael Sanders of the Michael Sanders Go See Show. In which
You even got a Go See Show, oh my god.
This is my Go See Show on YouTube and my website, in which I interview models that come to visit me on Go Sees to show me their work about their life stories and their careers in modelling. And my lovely Go See of the day is Sasha
Belyaeva.
Belyaeva?
No, don't even try.
No, please try.
Belyaeva.
Belyaeva.
That was a good one.
Not bad, right?
Yeah.
I've interviewed a lot of Russian girls in my time.
True.
So it's a practice. So I start off always by asking you, Sasha, where are you from?
Russia.
Which town?
Moscow.
Moscow, Russia. Wicked. What was it like growing up in Moscow?
This is the most boring question you should ask.
No, we're going to get into it. Don't worry.
Okay,
Don't
no,
worry.
I don't.
We start off, this is very chronological and thorough.
Sorry, I just broke your logic.
No, there's no logic. There's no logic.
But you just told me that it's chronological.
It is logical. It's
You
logical.
see?
You're born in Moscow. That's what we want to know. Who are your parents? What do they do?
My mother, she's just a housewife because I have two younger brothers. And
Yes.
my father, he's a driver. That's it. Really easy.
Yep. What part of Moscow were you born in?
I wasn't born exactly in Moscow. I grew up in Moscow. I was born like about 300 kilometers from Moscow, like in a small city called Gzelsk.
Okay,
But,
so this is more provincial then. You're
Yeah,
on the
but-
outskirts. And does that mentality fuel you? The fact that most people want to get to a big city from the boring suburbs?
Well, I moved to the big city when I was 7, so I didn't
Okay.
really get like this mentality. But even at 7, I realized that I have to do this. When you have all your friends around, you don't want to do this, but
So were
Even
you
when-
a mature 7-year-old?
kind of, I think so. Because I realized that I have to go to Moscow, otherwise I'm going to be stuck in a little city and probably...
Wow, that is very... Oh, shit.
Yeah, they're just like...
We can plug... No, we can't plug you in. We can't do both. Is your
That's-
phone going to run out?
That's fine. It's just like, it dies, it dies.
Okay, it dies, it dies. So, what kind of child were you? Obviously, what do you put this precociousness down to? Why were you so mature at 7? Is that built in?
I don't know, maybe it's just me thinking that I was more mature. Maybe this wasn't true. I don't know. It's
What's
just
your
me.
star sign?
Sagittarius.
Wicked.
I don't believe in horoscope.
You don't?
No.
It's still wicked. I'm a Leo with fire signs. You look very fiery. You have that energy. You're an extrovert?
No.
Were you bold as a child or shy?
Definitely shy.
You were always shy? Could you characterize yourself as shy today, now, sitting next to me?
No.
So what did you put that transition from shy to bold or shy to extrovert or introvert to extrovert down to? What's the reason for that?
Well, I feel like it's just traveling around on my job.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there are so many interesting people around, and it's just like... I feel like I like to get to know people better, to just like kind of learn them, to see what their stories is. And that's kind of brought me to be more social. But I can't say that I'm like completely introverted right now. I feel like I'm just balancing between being shy and being really social and open for everyone.
Now, when did you have the notion that you wanted to make music?
I feel like it's been forever with me. I don't know. When I was a kid, I always was singing in a public transport.
Jesus, that's not shy, is it?
It is kind of. I started really shy. I always start really, really shy and like really silenced. Then I just go like more and more, and then people like, can you please shut up?
So what were your first musical lessons?
First musical lessons.
And at what age?
I think...
How old were you when you first realized there was music and it spoke to you and you loved it?
I think it was like at age of 6 maybe or 7. Maybe younger. I was like watching TV and I saw this competition where people play instruments, and so yeah, that's just like a...
It was from television?
Yeah.
So it wasn't that music was necessarily played at home in your environment?
No.
It wasn't at all?
I mean...
Your mum and dad didn't listen to the radio or didn't play music?
We didn't even have a radio, no.
You didn't have a radio?
No.
So your first musical knowledge came from television, watching a TV show?
Yeah, kind of.
That's cool. And was it for adults or children?
Children.
It was a children's competition.
Yeah, so I decided that I want to play violin, and I was like... But I still lived in a small town and we didn't have like any way to just go and play musical instruments. So as soon as I moved to Moscow with my family, I went to music school to play violin.
Okay, now how did you get into a music school? How old were you and how did you get in?
I was like 8.
Did you have to do an audition?
Yep.
Please? And what were you playing? What was the instrument?
I didn't play anything. It was just like, it was really easy. They asked me to sing and guess the note or whatever.
Yes.
It was just like really easy for like little kids.
Wow. So in Moscow,
Yeah.
there are schools, music schools, that you can apply to at a young age.
Yeah, they're different from public school. Yeah, there's like they're like 2 different educations. So you're getting like a normal education, and you can get your like art education. You can go to music school, you can go to art school. Most of them are free. So you just need to apply for audition.
Oh wow. Okay. So did you take to it immediately? Was it at what point did you know I'm musical, I'm a musician, and I can do this?
I feel like as soon as I applied for violin, and yeah, I was playing violin for 8 years, and all these 8 years, I knew that I'm gonna be in music,
so
one way or another.
As a music school, how many hours a day did you practice?
Well, at the end, it came up to like 5 hours.
5 hours. So it was quite serious?
It is. It was really serious. Yeah.
And competitive?
Very competitive, especially in Russian.
Of course.
Classical music.
Now, how many of your students, your fellow students, were better than you?
In my school?
Go on, be modest. Not.
Well, that's really hard because music is, you can't really say who's better. There are always like a few things about musician. You need to be technical,
You had that.
You have to be artistic. So I was like
a good all-rounder.
I was like maybe not as technical as other people, but I was really artistic. So
yes.
I feel like there were like maybe 5 students on the same level.
Okay.
And I was one of them, I guess.
That's so cool. So you were supplementing any income with making music on public transport and stuff? Were you paid for busking?
I never tried this.
Oh, you didn't? You were literally playing for free? You didn't have a hat? You didn't have your violin case on the floor that people could put rubles into?
No.
No? Okay, so it was for free.
Money, yeah.
And what was your favourite classical composer for the violin when you were growing up?
For the violin, honestly, I hate this. I already told everyone. I hate to choose something favorite because I feel like it's limits that you. As soon as you have favorite, that means you also have not favorite. You know what I mean? Someone who likes
your
something,
judgment. You're making judgments.
Yeah, I don't like this. It's kind of like close your mind.
Was there a piece of music that you enjoyed playing more than other pieces of music?
I really like Tchaikovsky. Maybe I was like too young for him because he's like he had like really strange life, and his music is really dramatic and it's really hard to play. Maybe I was too young, but I really enjoyed doing
You loved
this.
it.
Yeah.
Cool. So was it always violin? Or did
Always violin, yeah.
So how did you go from violin to guitar?
That happened. I was supposed to go to music college, but then I got a disease, like an ear disease, so I couldn't play violin anymore. And
that's crazy.
Yeah.
Well, how old were you?
14.
Shit, that's terrible because that was career ruining.
Yeah.
And therefore devastating. Your whole life had been practicing to have a career as a professional violinist.
Yeah.
You wanted to play violin in an orchestra?
I mean, I just wanted to play it. Of course, I had some ambitions. I wanted to play probably like better than orchestra, but I really enjoyed it, even orchestra, everything. So I really wanted to go, but unfortunately this disease happened and I couldn't do music anymore.
Jesus.
So, yeah, that's fine.
So were you upset? Were you depressed?
I was really depressed.
Because you're 14, you're going to be depressed anyway.
I imagine like 8
It's a terrible age to have that happen to you.
I was pretty stable still, but imagine like 8 years being 14 and 8 years of playing violin. It's just like more than half of your life.
Yeah,
that's all you've been doing.
Yes.
So I stopped. There were like moments that I didn't talk to anyone for days. I was just like sitting and staring at the corner. But it was fine. I went through it and I realized that I need to do something. So I started to play guitar a little bit and start singing again because all these 8 years I never sang.
So the disease didn't stop you singing?
No.
Why would it stop you playing violin but not stop you singing?
Because violin, you have a really intense sound by playing,
shit.
and it's like the same ear.
Right.
So I just like that. I'm probably just gonna go deaf like after a while if I do this or something.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So what kind... were you always pretty? Were you always considered a pretty child? Were you a pretty child?
No, definitely no.
You weren't a pretty child?
No.
You weren't cute and people responded in a positive way to the way you looked
Well,
growing up? You must have
not
been
really.
cute, man.
I mean, I was like really
On the
skinny and a
subway?
bit like...
The little skinny girl playing Tchaikovsky on the subway? That's pretty cute.
I never played on the subway.
Oh, it wasn't the subway. Where did you play these gigs? In public?
Normally it's like a little concert.
Oh, right,
yeah.
recitals.
Well, people definitely liked me, but it's not
Yeah.
like...
Did you like yourself? Did you like the way you looked in the mirror?
I don't think I did.
You didn't?
Honestly, but I
you didn't
don't
know,
really...
you didn't think about it.
Yeah, I feel like I
You
didn't
weren't
really
even
think
aware
about
of it.
Yeah, I was like, okay, I don't care. I just play my violin. I just do my things.
Yes. When did you become aware of fashion? And we're going to get into your modelling career story. How did that happen? Were you aware of fashion growing up at all?
No,
Zero.
absolutely not.
At what
interested.
age were you interested in any way, shape, or form? Did it, or did that come from actually doing the job?
I think it started like at 12 because my father, he just liked photography and he liked to take a picture of me and he posted it on social media and he got like other people like, can we just like do some art projects? I was like, okay.
So your dad was a photographer enthusiast,
he's not really,
an amateur photographer.
Yeah, kind of like this.
That's
But I mean,
so cool.
I didn't, honestly, I just did it just because I had free time and I kind of
Yeah.
could escape doing my homework from school.
Yes, it was
like,
something else to do.
I was like, okay, maybe, I don't want to do my math lessons. I better go with my dad and do some pictures.
That's so
but
cool.
I've never been really interested and never really consider it as something I could do because I still had something I enjoyed more like my music.
Mm-hmm.
But then as soon as I stopped playing violin, I realized that I don't know what I want to do. I mean, I feel like I open for everything.
Yes.
I like everything. I like
Yes.
social science. I like math. I just like everything.
Okay. You're enthusiastic about life.
I mean, kind of.
You like to learn.
Kind of. Yeah, I like
Yeah.
to learn. I can say that I'm really enthusiastic about life.
Yes.
But
That's so good.
yeah, so, and I was like, I figured out that modeling is maybe like a way to just like travel around and see,
Different things.
yeah.
Okay, so people are talking.
Just, no,
Hearts are coming in abundance. That's so nice. So, how did you get scouted? How did the fashion industry find you? What were you doing?
That's on internet.
On the internet?
Yeah, it's like on a VK. This is like a really...
What's a VK?
VK is the most popular social network in Russia.
Is it? So your dad's pictures? Or were they your dad's pictures or your...
It was like just like mix of everything.
Oh, right, because he
Yeah.
started this business of
yeah.
you being photographed by people. A scout of an agency in Moscow saw these pictures and contacted you
Yeah.
directly. It was on your social media account. Okay, and how did you feel about this? How did it happen? And what age were you exactly?
I was 13, I guess. I was pretty young. Honestly, I don't really remember though. It was just like, for me, it was something that, not surprising. I don't know.
You expected it.
I mean, I didn't
You were
expect
being
this.
photographed, so why not continue
I
to
can say
be?
that I expected it, but I was like, I wasn't surprised. I was like, okay, that
Yeah.
makes sense. That's just like really logical thing. If photographers want to photograph me, that makes sense.
Then other ones
that's
will.
like model agency wants
Yes.
to somehow
Totally.
work with me. So I can
Absolutely.
say that I was really excited about that. It was just like something really logical
Yes.
and
Yes.
made sense.
At what point did you think I can actually make a living out of this?
Um,
So what was the, let's talk about, because I want to give other girls, 13-year-olds who might be watching this, an insight into how it actually happened for you, step by step. So
well, I finished school.
at what age?
17. And I decided to try to take a gap year to just modeling for a year and see if it works for me or not, because it's really a specific job. You have to travel around, meet lots of people, and...
Did you have to go physically into this agency?
You mean when they scouted me?
Yes.
No. they just met my parents after like a while. They didn't have an office. There was just like one person, so we just met somewhere like in a cafe, just talked.
Oh, so this was essentially your mother agent.
Yeah,
it was a woman or a man?
Man.
And did he continue to be your father agent?
I know he was just like a scout.
Oh, just a scout. So he placed you at an agency?
Yeah.
Okay. And so did you know anything about the various agencies in Moscow?
No.
So it was completely random that he put you with the particular agency that you went with?
Honestly, my parents
They
were like
did it.
talking. Yeah, they were like learning everything about that. So it was just like they went through whole internet to just like find out who's working well, who's not.
Were they excited for you?
Father, yeah.
Your father was excited, of course, because it vindicated his...
He was like, my mom. She was like, okay, but you know that you still play violin. I'm like, yeah. I know what I am. I know what I'm doing. But he was like.
my model daughter, you're going to be photographed exactly again and again.
Really happy.
He was
He's
so
still
happy.
He's
That's
still
so nice.
excited.
So he's proud and he's happy for what you've accomplished so far. So he's proud of you.
Yeah, he is.
And,
Yeah, he is very.
So you started working locally,
Yeah.
and was it something that you enjoyed, that you liked, that you thought you were good at immediately? Because you'd had this experience with your dad and other people?
It was just like for fun, still escape my homework.
Yeah, that's right. It worked in that regard.
Yeah.
That's so cool. So then, what was the next step of you having to take it a bit more seriously?
My first trip to Japan when I was 14, because fashion.
That's young.
Yeah, it is.
Did you consider yourself particularly young to be doing this job?
No. For when I was 14, now I realized that I was really young. 14, it's just like me being 14 and me being now is like a huge gap. But then I thought that
you were ready.
I'm old enough, I'm
Wow.
mature enough, I can make food, I can like use the internet, so I'm gonna be fine. Yeah, I don't
That's
know.
fantastic. Now, do you think having been a serious musician for all of those years actually prepared you, because you had to be disciplined, you had to work hard, you had to be a bit more mature than maybe other kids your age?
Yeah, definitely, because when you're performing all the time, you're becoming more. I mean, of course, like modeling is also kind of performing. Everything in life is performing. You go to meet new people, you have to perform. Even, I mean, you know what I mean. It's just like all about being artistic, and
yes. All the world's the stage, as Shakespeare said.
So yeah,
and we're all players.
So yeah, that
on the
definitely
stage.
prepared me, because I used to perform kind of often, because it's just like what you do when you're playing violin, and yeah, that's definitely prepared me for like not just being in modeling, but just like being in life in general.
Right, that's good. Did your teachers in these modelling schools, in the teaching you of music and the great composers and all the rest of it, expressing yourself as an artist, teach you other things about life?
You mean music school?
Yeah, the music teachers that you have, were they influences beyond just being...
Well, yes, definitely. Because...
Are there any that you remember that actually you gleaned other sort of things?
Yeah, because when you 8 years you spent with a person who teach you how to do particular sort of things, of course you just like this. That's becoming something more. You're becoming even more like friends, and especially when you're like, they always pay more attention for like a good student. So if you're good, they spend more time with you.
Yes.
So you just, of course.
Yes, of course,
Yes.
yeah. And do they know what you're doing now? Have you kept in touch?
I mean, that's not
Are they
that
aware?
easy. They are aware, but they're not on internet,
No,
and
okay.
I can't really call.
It's a different
like,
world.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
like,
it's a bit of a different world.
yeah, so I can't like that easily contact them.
Do you regret in any way, shape or form that you haven't had or will not have the career as a professional violinist? No.
Mm-mm.
Okay. When did you decide that you're going to be an artist making more popular music, as we could call it, or modern music, or rock, or pop, or whatever it is?
Well, I just knew that I liked to do music, and I don't know, I just enjoying it, and if I can't do this sort of music right now, so I'm just gonna go for something else.
Right.
It's not about like being popular or like whatever.
Yes, you're very omnivorous. I get the impression.
This.
You like it all. You'll have it all. Bring it on.
Yeah.
I love that. It's such a great attitude. There's no wonder why you have done so well, because you're so open to what the universe is bringing you all the time. Fantastic, Sasha. Okay, so what was the first money that you made out of modeling? And when did you think, I can actually make a living doing this?
First money I made as soon as I got scouted. It was like really little money, but for me being 13-year-old, living in Russia, it was like something crazy. But it's just like, I made lots of money for my like own standards for this time, but I realized that I can make a living of it as soon as I just finished school and started to do it serious, because when you're at school and you travel and you still kind of like do violin, you're like, okay, this is fun, I can travel, but you don't take it that serious because you have school, you have music school back, so you always have a place to come back.
Yes, exactly.
I lost music school. I finished high school, so I started modeling and I realized that there is no way coming back. I'm making it, or I'm just like complete loser. I'm just coming back and still without like any knowledge what I want to do in life. So yeah, I just realized that I have to do.
Does that make it important for you to succeed? Because the alternative was not.
Not really, but it's just like I realized that there is no like other options I would really enjoy. I still could go to university because I still was really good at school and studies, but I realized that I want to try this. I want to see if it works out. And it worked out.
Okay. Now, when did you move from Moscow? Where did you go?
I finished school and I went to Paris first time. No, not the first time in my life, but I went to Paris for a month.
This was after Japan?
No. It was like after I finished school.
Okay.
Like already. Japan was 14.
All right.
You don't see my logic.
Shit. You're coming or going?
Yeah, no.
So you did Japan earlier?
Yeah, but Japan was for a month. It's not like something moving away. It was just like a trip for a month.
Was that a positive experience for you?
That's definitely was a positive experience because I'm still in love with Japan. I love Japan. Japan is a unique culture.
Did you do work very well there? I should imagine you did.
Work not, because I was like after hospital still, because that's was the time when everything happened, and I was way too skinny for like even for a job and everything, so I didn't work very well, but I was just like enjoying Japan, and it was really positive experience for me personally.
And what about Paris? How did that compare? How long were you there for? How did you like the city?
I went to Paris straight after school because I started to work. That was like my first trip, was like without school, without anything, but just like being completely a model. I loved it. It was interesting.
Oh, yeah? Okay, let's talk about your love life. So at what age were you when you discovered love? Relationships, how was that going through school? You were in a music school. Was it co-ed? Were there girls, boys, all sorts of other people to have relationships with? At what age did you realize that you were a being that was attracted to other beings? And I'm not specifying, of course.
I think like I always knew it.
Okay, so you were...
I think I'm very attractive in some way.
You're attractive, yes. But that's different from being attracted to other people.
Honestly,
So you're saying that as a child, you were already looking with desire to other beings. You found other people attractive.
No, I didn't. I never had it as a child. I started to have it later, and it's just like more about just to learn them and to see what experience they have, because...
Is it all about learning?
Yeah, that's all about learning. It's always been about learning. Because there is some experience you're not able to get. You know what I mean?
Any other way, except by doing the practical matters of love. Right?
Yeah. So I was like, I better just still learn some things from someone, from like how is it, for example, how is it being growing up in like in a rich family or like all other things, but just learning it. So that was mostly the matter of like learning other people. I never really liked them like in any other ways. I can't say that I was like really interested like,
in other people,
just like all like in people in general.
Okay, so are you saying that you're not generally a people person?
No.
Interesting.
I told you, I'm an introvert. I told you this. That's just like my own thing, because I need to get experience. I can't get this experience because I was like born in different conditions or whatever, and I've never been like, I never grew up in America, so.
But you're happy in your own company.
Yeah.
You don't need other people around you to be have a good sense of who you are and to be happy.
No, I actually feel way better when I'm alone.
So how does this play into your love life? Do you have partners? Is that important to you, or is it not so important to you? Because that's what I'm getting. It's important insofar as it's a way to learn about life and maybe learning about yourself.
For me, relationships are
not that important.
No, not at all.
They're not important.
No.
Interesting. So is that because you're an artist and expressing yourself takes precedence, is more important, and it gets in the way in terms of just time and energy that has to be spent interacting with other people, which you could be spent doing your own thing?
Because I feel like I'm naturally not really a person who's full of energy.
You're not energetic.
No, not at all. No, believe me,
I'm confused.
I know. Yeah, honestly.
So you're not energetic.
No.
That's so funny.
I'm not. I'm falling asleep everywhere. I ignoring everyone sometimes, so everyone get mad at me. That's
right.
I'm not energetic at all, so I have to be really particular with the energy I spend and with the people I'm trying to go with.
Of course.
So yeah.
Right. So there's not a particular person that you look for. I mean, you're not looking for Are you in a relationship? Yes or no?
No.
Well, that makes very logical sense.
Finally.
You wouldn't be. Okay, that's great. And you're not even looking for one?
I mean, it's just a stupid thing to just look for someone, I go outside and I'm looking for someone. How do you measure that? Right.
I'm
just going on Instagram and I'm like, okay, I'm looking for a particular guy who has to be 5'11", a blonde with the blue eyes, and just go and look for him.
But that is what people do all the time. It's called Tinder, right?
I'm actually on Tinder.
You're on Tinder?
But I'm just making fun of people, I'm sorry.
You're just judging them. You see, you're full of contradictions.
I was just like, I don't remember. Me and my friend were just like, we went there for fun.
Yeah.
It didn't last long. It wasn't really
Did
fun.
you even follow up on it?
No.
You didn't meet anyone on Tinder?
No.
You didn't go that next step?
I don't think I did. I don't remember anyone.
Right. But it's not something that you're into? No.
I have so many things to do, like being on Tinder.
Okay, so modeling happened. You were having success with modeling. Mm-hmm. How did your music career then develop at the same time as that was happening? Tell me a bit about that. Have you signed with an agent with a label?
I'm about to. I'm just like.
You're in.
I'm in this.
You're in discussions with labels to be signed.
Yeah.
As an artist.
Yeah.
That's very exciting.
I know.
How did that happen? Tell me about that.
I don't know. It's just like
Is it social media again?
I feel like that's it. And just and my agency and my agent, all of it come together just like in the right time and the right place.
Now tell me how, and let's share with an audience out there about the idea of the agent and what the agent brings to a career. Are you in cahoots with your agent? Are you
not being in cahoots?
That you're scheming, plotting, that you are
just really hard words.
that you're getting together with your agent to plan things.
Okay, got it.
Are you very actively sitting down with an agent?
Oh no,
and saying,
me not.
No,
I couldn't imagine. Usually people do this, but
I'm very motivated. What do we want to achieve?
And I'm like, okay, you just plan something, and I'll just do everything needed.
You're very easygoing in that respect.
Oh yeah, I am.
But
I mean, maybe for my agent it's really hard because now he has to do everything.
Exactly, you're harder work for him. He's got to work harder. But is that good?
Does.
Is that motivating for him? Because
I think so.
Yeah. So these opportunities basically came to you from you expressing yourself on social media. You would sing songs?
Yeah, I just think covers on social media.
But you're an original artist, in other words, that you write your own songs. Is that right? Are you a singer-songwriter?
Yeah, I do write it, but I don't post it on the social media. The social media is just only for covers.
Because you're saving that for your own album.
Yeah.
And are you working on an album?
I mean, I'm in how do we call it?
Discussion?
Negotiations. Yeah.
Negotiations.
So it's just more about timing. I'm working, but it's just like more about timing and place where it's gonna and
be,
when. Yeah.
and where it's going to be recorded, and
Yeah.
how it's going to be recorded,
Yeah,
and whether
that's
you're
more
going,
about this,
and
yeah.
whether you're going to have a band or not, and where you're
Yeah,
going to
yeah,
find
exactly.
musicians to work with, and all of that.
Yeah, all those things. Yeah.
Now, who's influenced you at all in your music life? Who, if I've seen things that your agent sent me about comparisons to other bands.
Mm-hmm.
Are they people that are you very knowledgeable about
Honestly,
popular music?
No, I'm not really knowledgeable just about music in general because I still have, I don't know. I'm still pretty judgmental, if I'm saying it right. So,
Yeah. Picky?
Yeah, and music for me, because I'm raised up in a classical music atmosphere.
Environment.
So yeah, and there is a different way of perceiving music. If you listen to classical music, you need to be very concentrative. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because it's just like the whole story inside.
Yes.
And I feel like I still have it, so it's really hard for me to just listen to music in my normal life while I'm doing things because I'm just becoming really distracted by this.
Yes.
So that makes me absolutely not enough knowledgeable maybe because I still have to do modeling, some studies and everything. So sometimes you just don't have enough time to just sit down and listen to music.
Yeah.
Because it's just like a different perception of music in general.
So
being
where do your
classical.
musical roots or influences come from then? Is it still a
feel
classical
just
base?
I think so. I think that I'm mostly classical based because like 8 years you can just like forget about them.
Yeah.
But it's just like pretty much everything.
You like everything?
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I mean, not everything. There's like really little bit of music that I like, but it's just like all different
Genres?
Yeah. So I can't really
Are there female artists that you admire?
I don't like
No.
admire the.
You don't?
No favorites. No
favorites?
No, I admire myself. I don't make anyone favorite for me.
You're very cool for school, I must say. Sasha. All right, so what makes you a good model? Why would anyone want to work with you? Apart from the obvious, which is the way you look, and you're cool, and you're happening, and you've got a cool girl energy. What do you bring to the table that...
Isn't it enough?
I personally think it's enough. I think it's enough. But the bottom line is, can you make a good picture?
Yeah.
That's it.
Definitely.
Then that's enough.
Yeah.
What's your favourite part of the process?
You mean a modeling job?
Yes, we're back to modelling, sorry.
That's fine.
Yeah.
I don't. This depends on. This
It
really
depends.
depends on the shooting.
And it depends on the photographer?
Definitely, yeah. It's like.
It's that relationship that counts. Can you be great
Just
anyway?
everything.
You can be good anyway, can't you? Because if it's the minimum that you look the way you do and you give what you do give, you can do that anyway.
Yeah.
For anyone at any time.
I mean, yeah, that's part of my job. We're all here to get results.
Now, how do you conserve your energy, this tiny little bit of energy that you have in a day? How do you make that last through a working day as a model? Because
I just don't talk.
right. Now, is that a hindrance? Because certainly sometimes being social is what actually makes a difference, that people might want to talk to you about things.
Well, I'm just being silenced and being really cute at the same time, so they still
Cute?
like me.
You see, the cuteness works every time. You can get away with anything.
Yeah.
That's a great quality. So you don't, okay, this is the question. What are your goals, ambitions, fashion dreams, if you have any at all? What?
I don't have any.
None.
No.
You have no expectations?
No.
You don't want to
If
be
you
on,
don't-
you don't want to be on, you don't dream of being on the cover of Paris Vogue or
No.
Italian Vogue by Maisel or American Vogue?
I mean, if it happens, it's gonna be cool. But if
You
it's
don't
not,
have those goals?
No, I don't.
No. And you never did? So you literally went from job to job,
Yeah.
taking it all in your stride as it came.
Yeah.
As things came, you just did them.
I mean, of course, I'm trying to do things
Well,
what I think to do right, but I don't just set up the goals for me because I also don't like this.
yeah.
It's just like that means that you're working for this goal.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just not me at all.
It's not you. what do you think? So, what do you think makes for a good model and a successful career?
Oh,
You can't say.
it's just like, yeah, that's really
It's
nothing.
impossible to say.
Yeah, every case is different. Everyone's success is different. That depends, first of all, what you consider a success. Do you want to have lots of money, or you want to do lots of fashion show? Because it's like, this industry is not as easy, so you can't really say.
For you, is money important?
Of course, I like to eat food. I
It's
like
a
to
job.
have a nice apartment. Yeah.
Yes?
And of course, I really like to have money for my music.
Yes.
If I want to go and buy something,
Sure.
yeah, of course, that's money,
Well,
and that's
yeah.
the way to just like to influence people somewhere, because I'm building social. I'm building social following, so
Now
as soon as I have it, I have an ability to say people.
Yes,
something
could I
that's-
say-
yeah. So that's also really good thing
Building-
about modeling. Yeah,
Building implies something very active
yeah.
and planned. So, in that regard, you have an ambition, which is to build a following. Is that a
Yeah,
goal? That's
yeah.
a goal.
Yeah, I think this one it can be that one of the goals.
What do you think?
But just like with no timing, I guess.
Yes. Tell me, because I would love to build my own social media following. How do you do it? How do you do it? How do you get 70,000 people? Did you buy your followers?
I'm cute.
Yeah, cute. It's true. It's true.
Just be cute. But it's hard.
Okay. Oh, it went.
Yeah,
Shit.
it's fine.
That's good.
It's
It's a
fine.
good place to go, actually.
Yeah, that's fine.
That was a really nice one
Yeah.
to end on. I'm cute. That's the secret of it all. Oh shit, are we looking a bit dark? I think I should put the bloody camera
I
up.
think we're fine.
You think we're fine?
I mean, you can just add some.
I'll just in post. I'm gonna
Yeah.
keep it. I'm gonna keep it.
Yeah, because I feel like it's really nice conversation, and it's just gonna be.
Yeah. No. Exactly.
You can.
Exactly. So I was going to say, what do you expect to happen next? Are you happy modeling until they don't want you anymore?
Do I look like a person who's happy with that? I mean, maybe I'm not making some calls, but I definitely do like.
If you're that easygoing, is what I'm trying to get at, that without any hugely pressing ambitions about fashion, could you just go on and on as long as the phone's ringing?
Yeah, as soon as I have something else, like my music to do, yeah, I can.
Would you stop modeling to do music if it required a bit more time?
I mean, I don't think it's even possible, because it's all this, and that's like this
the
industry is
same
kind
thing.
of
It's all
that's
the
not the
same
same. Of like
You're
they're still
gonna be
connected.
photographed one way
Yeah,
or
that's
another
still-
for
yeah,
a long
so-
time.
I mean, of course, if my music becomes more serious, and I need to spend a little bit more time on it, I would go for this. But I don't see any way it makes me to stop modeling.
Right. Okay. So you're resigned to the fact that you're going to be photographed.
Yeah. Yes.
That's fine. That's great. That's wonderful. Do I have any other questions? Anything that you want to know from a photographer's point of view? No. I wouldn't have thought you would. Sasha, you're wicked. Let me ask you some other questions now.
Okay.
So that was probably anything we need to cover. Any advice for other young girls who might be looking to you and thinking, oh, I quite like to model and I'd like to make music and be good on social media? Any pearls of wisdom to bestow? Before no?
No, that's definitely something I want to say. It's just be yourself. That's pretty obvious, but don't let other people to tell you what to do. That's the thing. If you think that you want to be, I don't know, whoever you want to be, you just go for it and see if it works out or not. That's it. You just do what you can.
Do what you can
That's
and
it.
try and be cute in the process.
Yeah.
All
and everything
important.
gonna work out. Yeah.
Exactly. Focus on the cuteness. So Sasha, what is your overriding philosophy of life? What do you believe in spiritually, religiously? What is all this life business about for you?
I just believe in myself, and I believe that I'm here already. So I'm just trying to do my best.
Yeah.
In whatever and wherever life brings me, I'm just trying to do my best there.
And what makes
That's
you
it.
what makes you happy? Describe to me a day or a
I
state
feel
of
like
being.
I'm happy most of the time. I'm just really happy with myself. Happiness is just like something that I already have, I guess.
You're lucky?
I'm lucky. I enjoy my life. I have great things coming for me. I'm fine. I don't know. I'm happy every day, just because I'm here.
That's fantastic. Sasha, you're so wise. Thank you for sharing that wisdom with us today.
Welcome.
And we'll see you again soon.
Yeah.
Thank you. Bye, everybody.
Thanks.